Good morning. Welcome in. We're recapping week one as we know all the answers and headed to week two of college football, week one of the NFL. And don't forget that we have the NFL on Thursday night, Ravens Chiefs, which is insane. And then on Friday night, we have Packers Eagles, which is awesome. I love it. We are the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And Dean Scott Grawl with the Mississippi State College of Business would love to host your family, son, daughter, for a tour of the MSU College of Business. Well over $2 million in scholarships available this coming year. Top research institution in the state of Mississippi. And a lot of momentum. We told you the story about Dean Scott Grawl was recruited by Ron Polk for baseball out of high school in Iowa. He was living in Iowa, and he chose to go to Iowa State because he wanted his parents and family to be able to see him play. But it's an unbelievable story, and Coach Polk gave him a hard time when Dean Scott Grawl took over as the dean of the business school about 14 months ago. But go ahead and plan to take a private tour, meet the dean. And the Mississippi State College of Business will offer well over $2 million in scholarships available next year. Top research institution in the state of Mississippi. Majority of the business courses taught by faculty with practical experience in their discipline. And Scott Grawl, over 10 years in the private sector. You don't always see that with Target and Polaris. And don't forget about their new program in supply chain and logistics management, which is what Scott Grawl was in. Good morning. Welcome in. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. We want to welcome in Roll Tide Ron Fowler. Alabama throttles Western Kentucky. Milroe did not look like that last year. He did. The offense did not look like that at all, even at the end of the year last year, much less game one with Kalen DeBoer. And they beat them 63-0, I think. And we welcome in Ron Fowler, 109 The Game, Tuscaloosa, on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Bo Bounds?
Man, I'm good. I know it was Western Kentucky, but your offense didn't even look like that 8, 9, 10 games into the season last year, Ron.
And, I don't know what Bill O'Brien or if it was Nick Saban. I mean, Bill O'Brien looked pretty good last night destroying FSU. Hello, how you guys doing down in Tallahassee? Not very good. But, yeah, when you look at Nick Saban, I don't know if he put restrictions, from Bill O'Brien, in the previous years. When you think about it, Tommy Rees last year, I mean, this offense has sputtered, right? I mean, it has not been one of those offenses. I mean, I'm not just saying last year. Bryce Young, did some great things when he won the Heisman Trophy, but Alabama's offense was clicking. And here's the fear for the remaining part of the SEC is they were very limited. I mean, Jalen Milroe, I think he only threw 9 balls and still beat somebody. I mean, think about that. I mean, he literally had 9 completions. It just. Listen, Kalen DeBoer, and I know you were on it early too. You were a guy that came on my show, and Bo likes to throw hand grenades over here to this Alabama fan base from time to time. And he's actually been quite the opposite. He's been very complimentary of the offensive direction, and I got to credit somebody that the Magnolia State is very familiar with, and that's Greg Byrne, for going out and targeting. How brilliant does that look? Because the world. I don't know if it was being pushed by Jimmy Sexton, but Mike Norvell. I said, no. I don't know. There's just something I don't know. There's just something I don't like about that guy. But Greg Byrne took some evaluation and didn't even stop in the Sunshine State. He went straight to the Northwest and found Kalen DeBoer. And guys, it has been a crazy 240 days of getting to know him, watching the way that he operates, this culture that he has been, he's created here with his coaching staff. It is off the charts when you look at the excitement. You talk to the players, the confidence level. Sit down and talk with Milroe. Compare that to talking to him last year, where I don't even think he knew the identity. I don't even think he knew what they wanted to do. But when you talk with him now, total daylight and dark.
Yeah, you didn't have an identity last year on offense. I've never seen it was such a cluster. It
was. Woo.
It was, and Western Kentucky is not near as good as y'all, but you looked really good. The passes that he threw were pretty pass. I mean, it wasn't just like a jet. I mean, it wasn't a bubble screen. I mean, the guy was there were some pretty throws made by Milroe, which is a problem for all of us on Saturday. Okay, so and then you get to sleepwalk through your next game, South Florida, and your next one against Wisconsin in Madison, and then you'll take a week off and get ready for Georgia. I've got right here. Here's my poll. Coming out of week 1, Ron Fowler, I got Georgia 1, Alabama 2, and then I just got a kind of a group of teams that they're going to have to show me: Texas, Ole Miss, Ohio State.
SEC? Are you talking about SEC power rankings, or are you talking about the entire college football?
No,
the SEC.
No, entire college football. Georgia's 1, Bama's 2.
Where do you have Ohio State at?
They're in that group of show me: Ole Miss, Ohio State, Texas, and a couple more. Texas, Ole Miss,
Alabama,
Ohio State. Yeah.
And the biggest thing was the defense growth from
Notre Dame.
Spring game, because that was supposed to be a weakness for Alabama. You look back at Alabama's A-Day, Kane Womack's defense did not look good. But look at Keon Sapp, added from Michigan, 2 interceptions, the aggressiveness, the blitz packages. Because you got to keep in mind, Western Kentucky, I know people go, well, it's just a starter game. It's just one of those warm-ups. They won 8 football games last year. They were 8-5, returned 9 starters on the offensive side of the football. And T.J. Finley has, not been a productive quarterback, but he's played at, some pretty decent schools when you look at it. So they were returning 9 starters from an 8-5 team, and they pitched a shutout. And really the trick about the defense is go look at the number of people that they played. They rotated in, like, not just when it was 63-0. I mean, I'm talking about early in the first quarter. They were rotating defensive backs, and I was like, whoa, what are they doing? I mean, they were experimenting with all different types of combinations, and there was no drop-off. And that's the difference between Coach Saban and Kane Womack. Nick Saban ran a very complex defense, and people like Marlon Humphrey, one of the great NFL defensive backs, couldn't even get on the field his first year, had to redshirt him, then he played 2 years, and he's gone. And Mika Fitzpatrick, another guy. I mean, he played, but he only could play one position because the complexity. They simplified that on the defense. Deontay Lawson was telling me, he said, it's almost like you don't even – the defense. It's all college defenses are complex, but it was just too much confusion with where the current structure is. And now they've simplified that: play and react, read, react, read, react. And it's going to be fun to watch.
All right. So Georgia 1, Bama 2, and then Texas, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Miami, and some other teams. We'll see who kind of emerges out of that group. We're visiting with Ron Fowler, 109 The Game, Tuscaloosa, afternoon drive. This man is on Sports Talk Radio every day for close to 11 hours talking about Alabama football and SEC football. All right, let's go around. Georgia, they looked nasty too, man. They are loaded. What'd you think about them Georgia Bulldogs?
The Dogs look like an old Alabama. I mean, they really do. I mean, it's kind of their mindset. They're deep at a lot of positions. I do have to ask the question. When I think about Kirby Smart, I mean, one of the reasons why Nick Saban chose to get out is his system. You got to be able to have fun, okay? Look at what happens in Oxford, Mississippi. Fun. It's exciting. People, are energized. It looks like Georgia is one of those all-business mentalities. And that works for a little while, but it also drains. And if you can have the same success at other places, and plus right now, Georgia has a little bit of a culture problem over there. They got some issues to clean up. And, Kirby's not really hit that head on because he can't because of the transfer portal and all these different things. But when you look at the Dogs, yeah, they're a great-looking football team. But, if you matched up Alabama, think about Alabama. We've been sitting here criticizing Alabama from last year. Go back to the SEC title game. They struggle with quarterbacks like Jalen Milroe. Same reason why Alabama always struggle with mobile quarterbacks. It's something about that defensive scheme. It's a weakness. It makes that defense very vulnerable. So, they could put it on, but hey, listen, they got a tough schedule. We talk about welcoming Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC. Hey, Georgia, I'd like to take just a minute to welcome you guys, what we've been doing over here in the SEC West for several years. Appreciate you guys. Come on over, have a seat. We'll see what you really look like. Because, Georgia, no doubt, quality football team. I've got them at number 1. But this year, we're going to find out. Can Kirby Smart be more than just this one-game coach? And, will it be Alabama and Georgia again in the SEC title game?
Ole Miss says they're in it.
And good-looking football team. So, but that defensive coordinator, don't believe, man. I'm just telling you. Never mind. I'm gonna try to bite my tongue here, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He could be on a slippery slope. You never know. You never know. That stress adds up. That defense. Let me say this: I've watched Pete Golding coach defense, and he probably doesn't have the same personnel that he had in Tuscaloosa. I mean, this is the same guy that took Dallas Turner and Will Anderson and kind of, not very good. So he had elite talent. His schemes are just really not where they need to be. Going up against, if this was just a small sample size, not saying, where Alabama will be. Maybe it'll be in Atlanta when they play Ole Miss, but I'd hate to know Pete Golding had to stop this offense because I've watched him go back to the Tennessee, Josh Heupel a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but they had Hendon Hooker.
We had Pete Golding too. Listen, I watched Pistol Pete, man.
All right. Okay. So for our listeners, the only way that Bama and Ole Miss play is either in the SEC championship game or the college football playoff. They do not have a regular season matchup for the first time in a long, long time. Just a few weeks from now.
And Mississippi State. I miss Mississippi State going over every year. I'm going to miss that game.
Oh, I don't.
Every year.
I don't. I'd like to see. Bama needs to be. Once we go to 9 games, you're going to play everybody every other year. By every other year, every 2 years. So every other year is fine. But okay, what else? LSU. Were you? I actually think they're. I think they are good. Give Southern Cal. They actually played somebody really good. It's difficult in week 1 to have all your ducks in a row. How much fun were you having watching LSU lose?
Fun. And Bo, I went and watched our friend Matt Moscano that does afternoons with him and T-Bob on their little post whiskey and wine or whatever.
Right.
Listen, that should be a pay-per-view. If anybody's not seen it, listen to Bo and then later tonight go and watch Whiskey and Wine with Matt Moscano. I mean, it is now if you don't like language, you don't want to watch it because it's bad, okay? Because it's not on the radio; it's just on their YouTube channel.
Right.
And I mean, they're having a literally come apart because I think this is like 5 straight opening season losses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to doubt because I had Brian Kelly winning a national title in the first 5 years. I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm wrong on that prediction. I thought he was a better coach. Defensively, Mike Detillier came on our show about 2 months ago, and he said it, and I stopped in my tracks because I thought Bo Davis would fix a lot of that. I know that bringing in new defensive coordinator, but Bo Davis is going to kind of change that mentality. I still don't think they've got the personnel. When you look at that defense, I mean, that defensive line in some ways got pushed around a little bit. And Nussmeier is not going to bail them out like Jaden Daniels did, the Heisman winner from last year. So when you look at LSU, yeah, I think they're going to be a solid team. I think they're going to be better in some areas. I still don't think that's a playoff team. I don't see it.
Well, not after last. I mean, they can only lose one more game, and they still have Ole Miss and Bama. So it's going to be difficult for sure. Ole Miss at home, Bama at home, but maybe A&M on the road. If they go 10-2, they're going to be in play. They may. That doesn't mean they'll get it, but you can't lose 3 times. That's for sure. Ryan Fowler, 109 the game, Tuscaloosa. Hey, who's number 15 for you? Is that Ty Simpson or somebody else that came in and looked good?
Ty Simpson. Look at how much of a difference a year makes with him under this Kalen DeBoer system. I'm telling you, he is the quarterback whisperer. When we go to practice, by the way, now we're allowed to do that, and you watch him coaching the quarterbacks, so and he really doesn't have this negative screaming to the top of his lungs. That's not his approach. He's more of an instructor. Now, listen, there's a fire in that belly. We saw those headsets when they had to take them off. And, I guess Western Kentucky forgot to do a Windows update. They couldn't get their headset work. So most teams, so he went, he went crazy. He had a great pregame, speech is what I was told, pregame. But he's more of an instruction. Hey, let's learn from this. Let's teach from this. And to watch the way that these quarterbacks have bought into him and Nick Sheridan and Jamarcus Shepard, the co-offensive coordinator. And, hey, how about that Ryan Williams? 2 catches. How about this for a first collegiate catch? 84 yards off the line of scrimmage. Strictly just beat him, and the safety come across, and the speed was too much. Ryan Williams should still be in high school. He reclassified.
I remember that now.
Ryan Williams at a Saraland, right there as you go into, right into Mobile, as most of you guys from Mississippi coming down 45, Saraland right there.
Yeah.
Big school. He reclassified, should still be in a senior in high school. Instead, he's playing out here, and we had a chance to talk with him, which would have never happened under Coach Saban. Okay, he didn't bring freshmen in. We didn't get them for a year and sometimes longer. He came in, I was like, am I really talking to a 17-year-old kid? I was jealous because I'm like, why couldn't I have been, somewhat halfway intelligent like this? But Ryan Williams came in 84 yards, his first collegiate catch to the house, and it looked like Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and David Palmer back from 1992. He's going to be a big part of the offense. And it was a great read by Jalen Noah, something I don't know if he could have made last year.
No, I mean, there were several throws. I was like, who is this guy? What's going on here? So I got Georgia 1, Bama 2, and then Ole Miss, Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, possibly Miami. Kind of see from there, kind of that next group, who has the better schedule, who wants to get it done, who makes the big plays when they are challenged. I think Texas is going to throttle Michigan this weekend, Fowler.
Yeah, I do too. And Texas has made a quick adjustment. Heck, Oklahoma, looks solid. This SEC, I don't know if they want to go to 9 games.
Well, they are.
It's money.
I hate it.
But we're going to have a year-round college football. Going to start in August and end in May.
It's unreal. I mean, you look at the college football playoff format this year, and this is just with 12 games, how much more football we're getting. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're in the business. More opportunities to watch games, more opportunities to bet. My listeners, my audience, I love it. And Ole Miss, I think they'll be in it. So we'll see how it. I mean,
look under Jeff Levy, because I did not get a chance to watch that game.
I was impressed. Shapen,
okay.
Levy landed a hell of a quarterback in the portal. Shapen from Baylor. I'm so glad Florida State didn't go after Shapen and went after DJ Uiagalelei, And I'm glad several other schools that had more momentum than Mississippi State right now, just with everything they've been through. Man, for Levy to land Shapen, incredible. Kid can throw it and run it. So they need some help in some other spots, but they have a QB. All right, buddy. Just go ahead and ship some ribs. Go ahead. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, I want to say this publicly. DirecTV, you suck on the radio. Is that allowed?
Well, you can say you stink. You're crap.
You know,
damn
you.
You.
Go
to hell.
We say suck over here is SAUCK. AU stands for Auburn. So DirecTV. No, I'm kidding. I mean, dude, we have callers who call in and say it. I mean, all the time. It's like a brand over here that we've created.
Auburn.
DirecTV, you suck. I couldn't even watch the Florida State Boston College because of DirecTV.
Oh, dude, that was a good game last night.
Well, I didn't have it DirecTV.
Oh, man, I can't believe it was. I was sitting there watching Bill O'Brien run all over Florida State. I was like, what is this, an outer body experience? I don't understand what's happening.
ESPN Plus on my iPad. I mean, DirecTV, I pay $125 for you guys, and we're over here to negotiating whether somebody gets 40 cents on the first weekend of college football. I mean, DirecTV, I'm embarrassing you guys, man.
Oh, all right, look. I got to go, okay?
Roll Tide. Hope you guys have a great week.
All right,
you guys.
love you, buddy. See you. Ron Fowler, 109 The Game, Tuscaloosa, afternoon drive, letting us know that Jalen Milroe will be the number one pick in the NFL draft next spring. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're very proud of Jackson Meadows as he's like locked in this year. He watched college football this weekend. We want him to watch more NFL this coming weekend and college football. We got the NFL Thursday and Friday. Excited about that. Let's go lunch today. Brought to you by Aplos. Go get you a fried shrimp gyro or the lamb gyro and some Greek wings at Aplos in the Renaissance and Aplos in Highland Village. Show is brought to you by the Mississippi State College of Business. Dean Scott Graw would love to host your family this fall for a private tour. Over $2 million in scholarships available next year. The top research institution in the state of Mississippi, over $330 million in research at Mississippi State University last year. Majority of the business courses taught by faculty with practical experience in the disciplines, and Dean Scott Graw spent over 10 years in the private sector. He was also recruited by Ron Polk, which I just think is too cool. Go ahead and call and schedule your private tour today. Thanks for listening to the show. We will be back tomorrow. It'll be Wednesday, but it'll feel like Tuesday. I'm all screwed up. Hey, thanks for listening to the Out of Bounds Show. We love you. Football is here. NFL will be here Thursday night. See ya.